Salam and welcome back to my channel. I'm Umama if you're new here. We are about like 1 week away from Ramadan, and so I'm taking today and tomorrow to get prepared for it, set some intentions, get into the spirit of Ramadan. And I thought I would take you guys along with me and share some tips on how to have a healthy and productive Ramadan. I just finished setting my Ramadan intentions, and that actually brings me to my first tip for having a healthy and spiritually productive Ramadan, and that's to set intentions for it. Whether that's like one intention or focusing on embodying like one word, one characteristic for the month based off of like what you want to focus on and really accomplish this Ramadan. I wrote 8 different intentions, and I have been setting intentions for every month this year so far, and I usually do like about like 3 to 5 intentions, but since it's Ramadan, there's a lot of things that I want to really focus on and just cultivate. A lot of these are things that I do in like my routine already, but maybe just expanding on it a bit, or just like instead of just listening to any podcast, listening to an Islamic one. And you know, as Muslims, we're rewarded for setting intentions even if we don't necessarily like follow through on them. On actually a recent family vacation, my mom gave me the idea to do this because she asked each one of us to pick a characteristic from the Quran that we want to embody this Ramadan. And so my word is actually patience, sabr. So that's also something that you can do as well, is just like come up with ways to embody that characteristic. My second tip is to come up with some spiritual habits that you'd like to implement this Ramadan, or maybe they're habits that you already have like built into your routine but you want to expand on or just really focus on this month. So for example, like doing dhikr or reading a page of Quran a day, or however, you know, much you can read, and things like that. So I actually have a couple of things that I want to show you that I'm really working towards. These are things that I wrote down in my intentions earlier in this vlog, and just things that I think could be beneficial to you as well. So here's actually a Ramadan journal that I got from Cookishus on Instagram. She created this journal and it's actually really cool. It has like daily journal prompts and things that you can write down, like what you're grateful for, self-love challenges, and then there's also really cool things like affirmations from the Quran, and then like a Quran tracker in here as well. And there's like recipes. So it's really cool. If you're into journaling and this is something that you're looking to build as a habit, this is definitely a helpful resource. And I will link this in the description below in case you want to check it out. And then over here I have some books, some Islamic books that I'm looking to read. I actually started Secrets of Divine Love earlier this year, but I didn't finish it yet. So my plan is to finish that book and then pick up one of these books to start on it or finish it, depending on how much time I invest in it. So that's a great one, and I actually just filmed a TikTok on these book recommendations as well. So this is the Yasmin Mugahid one, Reclaim Your Heart. I actually read this, I think back in high school. She signed it for me, but I'm looking to read it again now that I'm older. and hopefully just get some new insights. And this is like a poetry book, but it's really cool. It has different like reminders, and there's some drawings in here as well. So it's a very like easy leisure read. So I'm excited to also read this one. Could also make a great gift too. And then this one, Timeless Seeds of Advice. It has, I think, some hadiths in it and just a couple of like important reminders, things from the Quran. So I'm looking forward to jumping into this as well, even if I don't get to it this Ramadan. I'm on my way right now to the Sisters Circle, which is being hosted by Raja, who is a spiritual coach, and she's doing this event in preparation for Ramadan to help get us into the spirit. We are going to be doing some dhikr, a guided meditation, and some journaling, so I'm super excited. I have my new journal right here, and I will let you guys know how it goes. I'll try to get some shots in if I can. Good morning, it's the next day. The event last night was just so calming, so beautiful. It was about like maybe like 18, 19 of us in there. We all sat in a circle, did some dhikr, some meditation, and then we journaled and just shared our thoughts with each other. So it was a really beautiful experience and just got me ready, even more ready for Ramadan. Now I got a little snack, some berries and my water, and I am going to be joining the Sisterhood Club's webinar. They do one like every month, and I was actually a guest speaker on one of them back in February about like goal setting from the Islamic perspective. And the one today is how to prepare for Ramadan, like getting ready for Ramadan and all of that. So it's perfect for today. So I'm gonna be hopping on that Zoom call now, and I will chat with you guys afterwards. The next tip that I want to share with you guys is to be flexible during Ramadan. Obviously, we're going to be fasting, inshallah, so with that comes exhaustion. Just make sure that you're giving your body the rest that it needs. Obviously, we're trying to make the most of the month spiritually, but just make sure that you're also listening to your body, and know that even if you don't accomplish what you set out for, like you've set your intentions, you've come up with some spiritual habits that you want to implement and build on, and just know that if you don't follow through with all of them, right, like if you have a long list, that whatever you do will count towards something, inshallah. And just even having that intention is gonna be good for you, inshallah. And the other thing is, there's so many more like forms of worship other than doing like sunnah prayers and reading Quran and doing dhikr, although, you know, those are all really great things to focus on, and especially like the 5 pillars as well. That's our foundation. But there are other forms of worship. So like if you are a mother of little kids and you're running around all day trying to care for them, like that is your form of worship. So even if you don't get to something on your list, or, you know, implement one of the spiritual habits you wrote down, like that's okay. Like you're still in ibadah, you're still worshiping Allah by doing what you can. And like same thing, like if you're, you know, cooking a huge family iftar, that is your form of worship for that day. And do what you can with what you have from where you are, and be flexible with it. It's a little later in the day right now. I went to brunch at my in-laws' house, and then I took a nap when I came back, and now I'm ready to get a workout in, which brings me to my 4th tip, which is to incorporate some movement in Ramadan. If you are someone who tends to work out and has like an exercise routine throughout the year, it's a good idea to keep doing that during Ramadan, just maybe like modifying it to something that is lighter, like a lighter version of it. One thing I'm doing to keep exercising, keep my movement up in Ramadan, is to go on pre-iftar podcast walks, which will pair movement with something that is spiritual and beneficial. And then another thing I plan on doing is just continuing some of the workouts I've been doing, like cycling and weightlifting, but just doing it at a lesser intensity. Just finished my Peloton workout, and I wanted to share my last and final tip with you for this video, and that is to prioritize nutritious foods during Ramadan. Because we are fasting and we have a limited amount of time to eat during the night, it's important to make sure that you're getting all your nutrients in. You want to prioritize foods that will help keep you fuller for longer, have fiber and the nutrients that you will likely need to get through the long days of fasting. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he was a man of moderation. He did not overindulge in his food. He made sure to eat nutritious food so that he could feel energized and focus on his worship. So that's my tip for this Ramadan, and that concludes my video for today. I am probably going to shower and then go grocery shopping and make a list of nutritious foods, and also come up with some healthy recipes for Ramadan. So if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, do that so you can stay up to date with those recipes and my Ramadan videos. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then please do leave a comment if you learned something new, or one of the tips that you really hope to focus on this Ramadan. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. And Ramadan Mubarak!